Okay, should be live. Hi, everybody. Can you all see and hear me okay? If you don't respond, I'm going to guess no. Hi, Sarah. I can see Sarah's in the house. We've got Valerian as well. Nice to see you. Got Robert. And we've got Carrot Cake. Awesome. How are we all doing? Can everyone see me okay? I'm guessing Valerian can. I'm trying a new streaming system, so we'll see how it works. If I disappear at any point, then it obviously didn't work. Awesome sauce is here. Was about to say your mic is muted, and then I realized I didn't turn on my speaker. Yeah, that might be a problem. Callum can see me, and action. Looks and sounds fine. Awesome. Thank you, Carrot Cake, for the thumbnail. I don't know how I fixed it, but I did, so I will take credit, and we'll just hope that it works the same next time. I like that you have Becky Does Blog in the corner. Oh, I do. And actually, I'm going to show you guys something real cool. Did that bring up Sarah's comment? It should have brought up Sarah's comment. It's a cool new feature. This is real like tech savvy. Just remember us mere mortals whilst you're on your stratospheric rise to 100k subs. That is a lot. That is a lot of subs. We're on 6k, so we've got a while to go, but I'm very grateful for the 6k. Benjamin's in the house as well. Yes, and Benjamin also says that in the past we have done 2-parter streams. We did that. It was one of the streams in the summer. Was it for Fever Dream? Where it just broke midway through for no reason. And I had to restart the stream and everybody came back. It was so nice because I thought I would have lost you all and you all came back. That was so wholesome. Anyway, how are we all doing on the final Sunday of February? As always, this is the monthly live stream that we do, where we chat about the book club book and we just chat in general. How are you all doing? I'm feeling good today. A little warm, actually. I've dressed for winter, but I don't think we're really in winter much anymore. So that's a good thing, but not for me tonight because I may melt during the course of the stream. And I also don't have any water. So that's not fun. Callum's feeling Gucci. Awesome. Glad to hear it. Gucci. What book did we have for February? Sword of Kaigen by M.L. Wang. That was the book that we had for February. Good evening. How are you doing? Oh, I forget. I can put people's comments on. Good evening to you. It is quite mild. You are correct. Today felt like the first day of spring. Awesome Sauce is procrastinating on some very important adult stuff. Oh, winter is not coming, but we do have a dream for spring. It's quite a lot of effort actually to get everybody's comments on screen, so I'm not going to do that for every comment. But you know, if you want a shout out on the screen, let me know. Are you proud of me for sticking it out and finishing? Oh my goodness, Awesome Sauce, you finished the book. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know if you would power through because that first half is a slog, and I kind of feel like if I wasn't doing it for the book club, I might have taken a lot longer. Hello. Oh, you got me water. Thank you. Thanks. Yay. I have my assistant to get me some water. Yes. Oh my goodness. You know the feeling when you're actually so dry and then you have water and it's a privilege. To have clean drinking water is a privilege I never take for granted. That's lovely. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, DNFing. I didn't think I would. The huge battle in the middle, I almost DNF'd multiple times. Yeah, it was a big battle. It was action packed compared to the first half of the book when nothing happened, but it went on for so long. But Awesome Sauce, you said you really liked the second half of the book. What did you enjoy the most about the second half of the book? And did everyone else read this book? Did you get through it or did you give up? I was close to giving up. It was weird. I liked the writing. Like I really liked the way the author writes. I think the issue for me was the pacing. I just felt like nothing happened. And like I can deal with a slow book. I quite like a slow book. But this one I just felt like was so slow. that, I don't know, I think you had to be in the right mood for it. I did use water magic, Benjamin, you are right. Oh, good, okay, good. Awesome Sauce is reminding me how to run the live stream. So this is your spoiler disclaimer. I forgot to say that. Normally I say it at the start of every stream. Spoiler warning, big spoiler warning. So if you don't want any spoilers, thank you for popping in, but you may quietly leave. Just otherwise we'll ruin the book for you. So yes, Awesome Sauce, you would be free to spoil. And if people haven't finished the book, then just go cautious. Be cautious. I'm heartbroken, Becky. I'm really sorry it didn't work for you. To be fair, like it, I would say I liked it. I would say I didn't love it, and I think it was just the pacing. Because here are the things I loved about the book. Oh, I feel like I'm going to sneeze again. This happens every single time I have a live. It must be this room. There's something about this room that makes me want to sneeze. Okay, I'm controlling it. Okay, I've got the sneeze power. That is my magic system. That is the power that I have, is to stop a sneeze when it's on the cusp of coming out. So I loved the location. Snowy mountain vibes, beautiful. Chef's kiss. And yes, Sarah, it's the amount of fluff in this room that just tickles my nose. I also really liked the characters. I thought they were great. They had depth to them. The main female character, she was fantastic. Mamoru, he was great as well. Yeah, a lot of character depth. I liked the chapters that were set in the past as well, to give us a bit of background there. And I love the magic system. The whole idea of like the elements, water, wind, like I loved all of that stuff. The ice, the use of ice in that battle, like the big ice dragon thing. Absolutely loved the magic system. The only thing that let this book down for me was that you could have taken out 200 pages and it would have had the same story and it would have felt the same. It was just, except it wouldn't have been so slow. I just feel like that first half let it down for me because it was just so slow of nothing happening. Like we were 200 pages in and I just felt like I was like yearning for something dramatic to happen, and then it did. So I loved the crazy action chapters. I know that Awesome Sauce said that they felt like that went on for a little bit too long. I personally loved those action chapters. I was craving them, but it was just that first bit, like the first 250 pages, I just found so difficult to get through. So I think that let it down for me, unfortunately. But you know, you win some, you lose some. And I wouldn't say that this is a loss. I didn't not like this book. It just wasn't my fave. Anyway, I'll read the comments now. I think I just strongly assumed it was a hero's journey for Mamoru. The whole battle, I was bored because I thought we all know Mamoru is surviving. So does that mean the plot twist hit you? Because one thing that you can't say about this book is it being predictable, because you thought Mamoru was going to survive. And big spoiler warning, that was not the case. When Mamoru survived, I realized it was actually about Masaki instead. She only got interesting to me in the second half where she had to confront her husband. Yeah, oh my goodness, the character growth, like especially in her husband. The world building, different cultures and magic system were fun. The bloodline techniques, like the Whispering Blade, was so cool. I agree. Liked the water magic, how you could be an ice or blood specialist. Absolutely. One thing that I would love actually is to see if she's made one, another novel set in this world with this magic system, because I really vibed with it. Like I really enjoyed the world building, I suppose, or like just the way she's developed it. Oh, Robert says, I'm sad that Wang decided to abandon this world. Well, I'll eat my words then. That is so upsetting, because I was literally just saying that I wanted another book in this world. Has she done any other novels in this world? Because those were all the things that I really liked. Yeah, it was just the pacing that I struggled with. I struggle with visualizing stuff whilst I read unless I've seen a movie or a show about it. So I didn't like the crazy action chapters because I struggle with the space work in my head. Yeah, that makes sense. It takes, it's like a very difficult job for an author to really help you visualize what is happening. So when an author can make you do that, then they've done a very, very good job and they're very talented. But a lot of the time, it's very, very difficult for you to visualize stuff. And I feel like I was visualizing things, but probably not in the way that the author intended. So it's okay. You can just kind of do what you want when reading. That's the fun of it. I struggle with characters who spend most of their time feeling sorry for themselves. I'm looking at Peter Malak. That is so true. That is one of the things I hated about Peter. When Masaki and the husband made a 180, I got locked in again. Yeah, I mean, Masaki definitely did not wallow in it. Like, she definitely did not just sit around feeling sorry for herself. Like, she was a great character, I thought. She was strong. She was stuck in this culture and way of living that she never wanted, and then by the end of the book she kind of takes control a little bit more, well, a lot more, and yeah, she kind of stands up for herself. So I really liked her character development, because she was like really badass in the past, and then she had like mellow moments in the middle where she was just doing what that culture required of her, but it's not what she wanted, and then by the end of the book she was badass again. So I really like that she came like full circle. She did a YA series based in this world. This book was a loose tie and that massively outgrew in popularity. Cool. I might check out the other stuff she did. I don't think I'm the target audience for YA anymore, but then again, I did previously reread The Hunger Games and really loved it, and that's definitely YA. So I probably would like it, to be fair. I'm impressed with how well the book handled exploring human resilience. Oh, yeah. The cast have to navigate great trauma in spite of their own deep character flaws. Yeah, the character work is one of this book's key strengths. I really liked the characters. I felt like they were all well developed. They had layers to them. There was just so much to them. They weren't surface level. And I think that is one of the things that I enjoyed the most about this book. Which is why I say it was slow, but I think it's because if we were like kind of learning more about the characters, or they showed a little bit more of their layers in those slower chapters, that might have brought it back up for me. But that's why I really liked the chapter set in the past with, Masaki's like gang and Robin and like all these things from the past. Like, I liked that, even though it was a very long chapter. I liked that because it gave her layers and it showed us more about her past, which I just loved. I struggle with all the names, not just people. Yeah, to be fair, that it was so difficult for me because the glossary at the end of the book is incredible. Like, it tells you absolutely everything, so you can flick back and forth and know what is going on. But on a Kindle, that was really hard to do. So I'm a Kindle newbie. I got my Kindle for Christmas and I'm loving it, but trying to get back and forth from the glossary, I just gave up. So if there were things that I didn't understand in Sword of Kaigen, I just pretended I knew what it meant based on the context of the sentence. I just guessed. So I probably got them all wrong, but yeah, that was difficult. Oh my goodness, we take water for granted. I strongly assumed the husband would be a bad guy the whole book, but he grew too. That's when I realized I liked it despite all my complaints. Do you know what? Awesome sauce. I feel like we're on the same wavelength here, because I feel like I was quite not negative, but yeah, probably negative for like the first half of the book. I was like negative Nancy. I was thinking, oh, why is this chapter here? What is going on here? Can something happen? I'm bored. And then by the end of the book, I was a positive Polly, and I was like, actually, I like this bit. I like this bit. I like this chapter. So I feel like it's a very mixed feelings on this book, because I did enjoy it. I just didn't love it. When I didn't understand something, I have a huge thread where I was like, what does this word mean again? Yeah, to be fair, I could have just Googled it, but I didn't. Takeru, I loved him throughout the book, but when Masaki forces their confrontation and Takeru finally opens up and explains how he deals with pressure all along, it doesn't redeem him, but it gives us much needed context and possibly empathy depending on the reader. I completely agree with you. I'm getting passionate and chucking my water bottle around. I so agree with that, because I loved him as well. I didn't think his actions were justifiable, and especially when you learn about how his father was. Like even his father, you can kind of see where he gets elements of his personality from. Um, but again, it's all about the layers. Like it gives you the layers, and then by the end of the book, we know so much more about why Takeru does certain things. Not that they're okay, like not that they're excusable at all, but like you said, it just gives us the much needed context that we have to have in order to understand him more. And yeah, I like at the end that they both kind of came to like a mutual understanding, and they communicated a lot better as well. The duel scene between Masaki and Takeru was powerful as well. Masaki's grief was so raw, and after all of the shutting down throughout the book, it was satisfying to see them finally talk. Yes, it's that classic thing of if they just communicate to each other, then they could resolve so much, or they could just understand so much. Um, yeah, and Masaki's grief as well. Like the amount of grief in this book, I was not prepared for. I can't believe how much loss there is, how many people lost things. I mean, basically the entire village is torn apart and half of the families are dead. It's like there's so much loss. Everybody's grieving, and then we see the majority of it through Masaki. Um, but there's also the kind of loss of like what happens with her friends. Oops, with her friends as well. They lost so much. So yeah, overall it was a really sad book. The book really wants you to dislike Takeru, which is really good in concept, but I didn't predict that they would have him change too. Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was a good character arc. I thought there was, yeah, I think that's it. I think one of the main strengths of this book is the character work. That is one of ML Wang's absolute strengths in this book is the characters and obviously the world. So I feel like there are more things that I liked about the book than I dislike. I just think because ML Wang is so hyped up, like so hyped up, that I think I went into it with too high expectations. Whereas if I didn't have those high expectations, I might have just enjoyed the process of the book a bit more rather than thinking it should be great. Why is it not great? Kind of thing. But obviously, everybody else says about mentions about reading Blood Over Brighthaven. So I think I am still going to do that. I think I am still going to read Blood Over Brighthaven at some point because I liked her writing. And, they can't take that away from her. She's a good writer. I imagine that's always going to be the case in her other books. So, yeah, overall, I enjoyed it. Just had a few things that were not so great about it, if that makes sense. Has anybody else read any more ML Wang or Blood Over Brighthaven? Has anybody else kind of read any other of ML Wang's works? Oh my goodness. Each sip of this is like heaven. Orange juice. Do you have orange juice for us, Sarah? Oh, good bit of fresh orange juice on a hot day. Pure perfection. Takeru wasn't a stereotypical evil bad guy, just part of a patriarchal system. I thought she dealt with that well without it being preachy. Yeah, I agree. There was a lot of themes actually around that in this book, around different cultures and like the patriarchy and different roles within different families. Like everybody was basically saying that her role was to provide an heir, like to train up these warrior children. And it obviously wasn't something that she really wanted. And actually, there was a really powerful chapter around her, like, opinions. I don't know if that's the right word, or experiences of like motherhood and having her children and how she felt towards her children. I thought that was really powerful. Yeah, I thought actually that was a really strong theme in the book that came across really well. Robert says Blood Over Brighthaven is on my 26 TBR. And Benjamin also wants to try Blood Over Brighthaven. It's a dark academia, so maybe it'll be similar to Babel. Yeah, I'm sensing similar to Babel vibes, although there was a review that I read online that said it's basically Babel but less patronizing. So that made me maybe think, oh, okay, because I got through Babel, I enjoyed Babel, but it did feel a little bit patronizing. So maybe Blood Over Brighthaven is just all the good things without the patronizingness. Awesome Sauce has drank 5 cups of coffee today and exactly 0 water, so they will be buzzing. What time is it where you are? I hope you don't have to go to bed soon, because if I'd had 5 cups of coffee, I'll tell you what, I would not be going to sleep tonight. And I need to, because I'm up at 2:30. Um, Benjamin says, "It's cool seeing an older mother protagonist in a fantasy book." Yeah, I agree, and I think that that's actually something that's not in fantasy novels all that much. I've not come across it all that much, which I think is why I liked it in Sword of Kaigen, because that chapter was very, very interesting, and it's a perspective that we don't normally ever really see. So I really liked it. Hi, Kalu, how are you? Oh, that rhymed, kind of. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. Oh, cool. It's 1:20 p.m. We're awesome sources, so they're all good. But they need to stay up since Dunkin' Egg is at 9 p.m. here. That's so nice. Imagine having Dunkin' Egg on at a normal time for you. That's so nice. I'm very jealous. I think it's on at 3 a.m. for me. I'm not salty at all about it. Definitely not salty. So Sarah has the ultimate power where she is able to sleep right after drinking coffee. That is a power that I wish I had, because if I have coffee after about 4 p.m., I won't be able to sleep that night. Like, I can just like feel it buzzing around my veins if coffee goes into the veins. I'm not sure, but bloodstream, wherever coffee goes, I can feel it. How did we get on to talking about coffee? Honestly, guys, I've cut down my caffeine intake this year, and it has been the hardest year of my life. I feel like a zombie all the time. I didn't realize how much I needed caffeine until I tried to cut it out of my system. And it's been difficult. My body at some point should feel healthier for it, I assume, but right now it doesn't. Since I realized the more I read, the more I struggle to visualize stuff. But when it's describing a battle sequence, do you all picture it in your heads like a movie? A bit of both. So when I was younger, I used to visualize everything. Like, my entire mind when reading a book was like a movie. Um, and there was just always, like, I had to picture every single character, every single movement that was described, what they were, wearing, like everything was always in my head. Whereas now, because I think maybe I read a bit quicker, now I don't visualize absolutely everything, just the main stuff. So the battle, for example, with like the ice dragon, that was in my head, and that looked really cool in my head. But if it's just like people talking, I didn't visualize it. Like, I didn't visualize just people sat having a conversation. It's weird how things like that change. Callie says they saw my early rating about the book and decided not to read it. Well, I'm sorry if I put you off. There are good things about this book. We've talked about a lot of the good things about this book. I just feel like I had way too high expectations for it, and I think that let me down. And it was just so slow. The first 250 pages were a real big slog for me to get through, and it's a big book. But the remainder of it was great. So yeah, there was definitely some good things about it. I struggle to visualize faces too. With Wheel of Time, I had to Google pictures to keep all the characters straight in my head. Yeah, that's fair. Sometimes I have like a character in my head who is nothing like what is described in the book. So the author will describe exactly what they look like. Like, they've got brown curly hair, and for some reason in my head they'll be blonde with straight hair, and I don't know why. Callie says they still wanted to stop by to hear from the group. That is so nice and kind. Thank you so much. Always appreciate you being here. And sorry if we spoil anything, but if you're not going to read the book, then it doesn't matter. But if you are, then I'm sorry in advance. So Awesome Sauce says, I think yes, if it's just text, I don't visually see it. So I think that's like kind of a little bit what I'm like now. Like, when people are just having conversations, I don't visually see them having the conversations anymore. It's weird, because I definitely used to visualize absolutely everything. But I think at that point I also used to read slower. So I used to take my time reading. It would take me a lot longer to get through a page, probably because I was visualizing everything up here. Whereas now, because I'm just naturally like getting through books a lot quicker, I'm probably just not actually picturing as much. Maybe I should try and change that again. Maybe I should try and be more visual again. When I read Lord of the Rings, it was great because I had places, people, and everything else in my head. Yeah, and it's really cool when you do have it like a movie, because I feel like more immersed in it. So, like at the moment with the current book I'm reading, I'm trying to take my time a little bit more and picture the locations and picture what people are looking like and what they're doing. And I'm actually really, really enjoying it a lot more. So I think that's my lesson that I'm learning is just like take my time and try and visualize a bit more. This has gotten deep. This is a deep live stream. Um, I don't have a clear picture of Masaki, but I do for Takeru. That's interesting. Okay. Oh, so you have like a character imprint in your mind already of who you can kind of relate that character to. So that will make it automatically easier for you to visualize them because it's coming naturally. Whereas if you're trying to think up of a character that you've never seen before and your mind is trying to create it, it takes a lot more brain effort to try and get that person in your head every time they're like on page. So that makes sense. I do the same, especially with locations. I'll just willingly not include what the author says in my mental image. Like he walked through the door behind him, and in my head, the door was in front. That's the same with me. And sometimes I physically can't put the door in the right place. Like there was what was I reading earlier? There was a chapter, and it was like there were 4 doors, and they were all next to each other. But for some reason in my head, there was one on each wall of the room. Like I couldn't have them next to each other. Really weird. I don't know why my brain was like that. I think if you watch an adaptation, it becomes impossible not to visualize the characters as the actors. For example, Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones. That is such a good point because I wonder actually if you're finding it difficult to visualize, then maybe you could possibly watch the TV show or movie adaptation first before reading the book, because then you might visualize a little bit easier because you've got the framework already. And I don't personally feel like it matters if you read a book first or if you watch a show first. You're going to enjoy whichever one either way, hopefully, as long as the adaptation is good. So that might be like a helpful tip for people who struggle to visualize, because then you've already got that foundation of what people look like and what the locations are like as well. Oh, Benjamin's just made a really, really big point. It's so tragic that Mamoru becomes the youngest person to ever master the Whispering Blade technique, but no one ever finds out. That is so, like, honestly, that right. So Mamoru was a big loss to me because Mamoru was actually my favorite character up until the point where they were no longer a character. So it was a big loss, and the significance of that young boy, like he contributed so much and he fought right to the very end, and then he's just gone. And like you say, nobody ever finds out that he was the youngest to master the technique. That is so sad. This is a sad book. Can never picture Tyrion other than Peter Dinklage anymore. Yeah, and that's cool because I feel like Peter Dinklage is almost exactly what I pictured Tyrion to be like in my head when reading Game of Thrones. It's actually shocking how perfectly casted I feel like he is. So when I reread, it will be Peter Dinklage, but it's not going to be too different to what my original Tyrion was when I read Game of Thrones for the first time. So yeah, really good point. And someone said book Tyrion and show Tyrion are very different. I think in personality, I think they are different, but looks wise and maybe mannerisms wise, I felt like they were the same. For me, anyway. Takeru reminded me of the uncle in Ghost and yeah, he instantly had a face. I don't know why that just made me laugh, as though like all the other characters just have nothing. They're just like faceless people, like mannequins that don't have faces. I know what you mean, but that just made me chuckle. Oh yeah, Tyrion's face scar is supposed to be way more prominent in the books. That is true. But again, when I read Game of Thrones, I didn't picture him with a scar on his face. He had a perfect face when I was reading it, so I overlooked that detail. So I'm not that good at visualizing because I just missed that out. Josh is in the house. Hi, Josh. Look at you. You get the spotlight. Thanks for joining on this Sunday evening. Hope you're well. Hope you're all good. Always nice to see you. Peter Dinklage without a nose. Sorry, that's made me laugh as well. Actually, I'm watching Fallout at the moment, and you know that guy without the nose? Is that what Peter Dinklage was supposed to look like? Or is that what Tyrion was supposed to look like without the nose? Let me know if you know what I mean. That part where it described Mamoru dying and describing the sensation of becoming the world around him was probably the point where I went, wait, okay, I might be wrong about this book. Yeah, it was definitely a turning point. Yeah, that middle bit I felt like was the turning point for me. It just took over 200 pages to get there. Oh, we have got the one and only Grease Goblins in the house. Nice to see ya. Becky is going live twice today. Technically, for me, I'm not going live twice today because when I go live again in a few hours, it's a different day. Don't you know? So I am putting in the shift. I'm going to bed after this live stream so that I can wake up fresh and peachy for the next live stream. The grind never stops. So hope to see any of y'all there if you're still awake. Even Masaki, the main character, is just a generic middle-aged mother with no defined face in my head. Honestly, every time I read now, it's just going to be like mannequins that don't have faces and don't have eyes. You know, where it's just like the shape of a face, but there's no details. What are you currently reading, Becky? I'm currently reading Diabound by Sable Sorensen because I'm in another book club and the live stream for that is next Friday. But I've only just started the book and I think it's almost 600 pages. So I have to like hurry up because I've got 5 days to read it. So yeah, I'm in a rush to get through it, but I am enjoying it. I think, how many pages am I in? I think I'm over 100 pages in now. And I am enjoying it. It feels like Fourth Wing, but with direwolves and less romance at the moment, which is good. Well, it's not good, it's just what your preference is. But yeah, much less smut. Much less smut. Hurry up, Becky. She reads like 300 pages a day. She'll be fine. Honestly, like I tried to read so much today and it just didn't happen. I felt really unwell this afternoon and I was trying to read and I was reading like the same word 5 times. And I was just thinking, I can't do this. So I gave up. So I'm just gonna have to read tomorrow. But tomorrow I'll be editing because I want to get my video up for A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. So I have to edit. But we'll see. I'll read at some point. 6.5k right now. Place your bets for after the finale of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I say she crosses 7k by the end of next week. Ooh, I hope so. But we'll see. I'm happy. Like I'm happy either way. If it just stopped now, if it just plateaued right now, I would still be so happy. I'm on a high with how many subscribers I've gained this month. So I don't need any more right now. I'd love it. I'd absolutely love more subscribers, but I'm so happy with how many I've gained in the past couple of weeks. It's been fantastic. So yeah, thanks everyone. What platform is your book club, if I may ask? The other book club that I'm in is actually run by Callum Rushworth, which he was in the chat earlier. I don't know if he still is, but it's his book club that he runs as part of his Patreon thing. So he does like free flash fiction short stories that he just posts on there for free. So if people want to read short stories, he puts it on there. But he also has a book club, and this month is Diabound for it. What was last month? I can't remember what last month's book was. But it does mean it's quite difficult because I'm now in 2 book clubs because I'm in my own and I'm in his, and you know I'm only one person, so so it's difficult to read all the book demands. Mom, why do you have an Italian A Game of Thrones book on your shelf? So I got that when I was in Italy. Absolutely loved the front cover of it. It's so different to the English versions, and I've made it my mission that every time I go to Italy, I want to pick up the next one in A Game of Thrones. So it's just a quite a nice little sentimental thing. Last year I was also trying to learn some Italian. I'm so annoyed with myself that I gave it up because I was actually getting pretty far with it. I was actually quite proud of myself. And it was my goal to read the Italian Game of Thrones in Italian. What are you most looking forward to reading this year? Ooh, what am I most looking forward to reading this year? Possibly. Well, the books I was going to say aren't new, so I'm very excited to read The Strength of the Few, which is the next one in Will of the Many. It is new, but it didn't come out this year. And Dungeon Crawler Carl, I really, really want to read. That I'm very excited for. What else am I excited for this year? A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms again, because I love it and it's my comfort book. Oh, and the rest of the Lord of the Rings, because I did finish Fellowship of the Ring. So I'm excited to read the rest of those actually. So yeah, none of those books are releasing this year. I realized I struggle to read after a work day, so I'm going to try and get more reading done on weekends and do my video games and movies during the week. That sounds like a perfect plan. You've just got to find out what works for you. You just got to do what you got to do. For me, I find that I read best in the mornings and lunch times. If I try and read before bed, it just doesn't work for me. Also, I'm going to throw Benjamin's question back at you all. What are you most looking forward to reading this year, guys? Put your answers in whilst I catch up on the comments that I'm very behind on. Robert says 600 pages by the 27th of February. Yeah, if it's in 2027. I mean, I set myself like a page goal per day to try and meet it. We'll see. I mean, how many pages do I have to meet to reach it on Friday? So I've got about 450 pages left. So can somebody divide that by like 5? And that'll help me work out how many pages I need to read a day. 6K subscriber live stream. When, Becky? Right now. Thanks for 6K subscribers, everybody. Love it. Becky, I'm kind of scared about Maycar in tonight's episode. I keep seeing people post non-spoiler reviews for episode 6, and Maycar keeps getting mentioned. Oh, me too, because Maycar, he's not been my favourite character in A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. I know he's got a lot of lovers in the fan base. He's just not been my favourite. So I'm a little bit worried as well. But, you know, we'll deal with that when it happens. Life isn't about the what ifs. If you live on what ifs, you'll ruin your life. We've got to deal with it if it happens. There you go. That's what I say to get me through this. Callie says, I just started Strength of the Few. No opinions yet, but maybe you can add that one to the book club list. See, I would love to, but the only thing is that it cuts out the people who haven't read The Will of the Many, because I also wanted to put the second book in the First Law trilogy in the book club, but then it removes the accessibility for people who haven't read the first book. So I don't know. I don't know about putting second books on the book club, just because I feel like it means it's not accessible for some people. So we'll see. Oh yeah, Callum's book club is on Discord, so people talk that way. I wonder how good the Game of Thrones translations are. I don't know. I'll let you know. I'll feed back once I've read the Italian Game of Thrones alongside the English one. Awesome sauce. You need to do this gesture more, then you will learn Italian faster. Yes, this is not a stereotype at all. Mamma mia, and all that. Just kidding. If anybody's Italian, I'm so sorry. I love Italian people. I love all people. Awesome Sauce is wrapping up Swan Sword and Mystery Night halfway through Swan Sword. I would love to know what your thoughts are on Swan Sword so far. Let me know. Benjamin says, Of Blood and Fire by Ryan K. Hale. Gotta love a massive epic fantasy series with dragons. You're so right. You are. You know what? I'm highlighting this one. I forgot that this is also what I'm very excited to read that was released this year. I am very, very excited for this one. That's why I immediately put it in the book club poll as soon as I discovered it was out. I'm actually very sad that nobody really picked it for the book club poll, but that's fine. It's your guys' poll. You guys vote for what you want to vote for. But this will be staying in the poll until it's picked because I really want to read this. I might eventually try God Emperor of Dune on audiobook. Ooh, interesting. Well, that's a good shout, actually. If you're struggling to find time to read, audiobooks are good because you can just multitask. You can just like go for walks and stuff. And then you will be able to read more. I'm finishing the last book of the Accursed King series. Oh, it's one of the books that inspired Game of Thrones. That's cool. Is it good? Would you recommend it? That's intrigued me. Oh, just finished a great funny sci-fi, The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. I have that. That is behind me somewhere. It may be on, oh, I can't point that way. It may be on this shelf, I think. I think it's there. I got that from a friend. Actually, that Josh that was in here earlier. Thank you, Josh. Got me that book last year, and I really, really, really want to read it. So that is on my TBR. So would anybody want that in the book club poll? It is a sci-fi. Which would you recommend, the Dungeon Crawler Carl or the Farseer trilogy by Robin Hobb? I have a couple credits on Audible, don't know which one to go with. So I've not read Dungeon Crawler Carl, but what I have heard is that the audiobook is incredible. I've got a lot of friends who, that sounded cocky, I've got a lot of friends. I have friends who have read Dungeon Crawler Carl on audiobook and they say it's incredible. I don't know what the audiobook for the Farseer trilogy is like, but I personally have read the Farseer trilogy and love it so much, but I've only read it physically in the physical copy. I don't know what the audiobook is like, but I would personally vote for the Farseer trilogy just because I love it. But I've heard good things about Dungeon Crawler Carl, so I've probably not helped you there. Can anybody else help Mad Dog with their query? The Swan Sword is definitely my least favourite of the three. Amen to that. Becky loves all people except Ollie. Screw that guy. Sorry, I had to do it. Yeah, screw Ollie. Sorry, like, there were people sympathising with Ollie in my comments section. You guys are wrong. Ollie is a prick. Like, sorry. I know he's had trauma, haven't we all? Like, but his actions are inexcusable and people were justifying it. Screw Ollie. Anyway, got a bit passionate then. Sorry, guys. That's way too much for a Sunday evening. Mystery Knight is the best novella. Agree with that. Although when I first read it, The Hedge Knight was my favourite. But now, on a reread, The Mystery Knight is. Benjamin picked the Ryan Cahill book. I want to get to it. Benjamin, you might have been like the only person who picked it. It's not very high on the percentages. It makes me so sad. If I could vote on my own poll, I would have picked it as well. And then we both would have voted for it. I have about a bazillion books on my TBR. Same. I'm a mood reader. I plan to finish the Sun Eater series, one book to go, and continue Dungeon Crawler Carl. Read 3 books so far. But after that, who knows? So I really want to read the Sun Eater series as well, because I've heard people say it's like A Song of Ice and Fire, but sci-fi. So that intrigues me. I really want to read that. I'm really liking the Swan Sword so far. Dunk is getting ready to negotiate with the lady, so I don't know where the story is going to go. All I'm going to say, awesome sauce, is that I don't think you'll be able to predict where the story is going to go. I didn't. It goes quite randomly, but it's great. So that's all I'm going to say. Okay, cool. You highly recommend the Accursed King series. That's great. I will keep that in mind. I really do want to diversify my reading this year, so I'm not just reading the same stuff. So that's quite a good one. Thank you for the recommendation. Valerian's favorite is Mystery Knight as well. I wonder if some of the concept in a lit RPG translate in audiobook. I couldn't tell you because I've never read lit RPG before. Are you planning to go watch the Project Hail Mary movie in a couple of weeks, or will you wait to react to it on your channel? Sir, this is what I kind of need help with, because I want to go see it when it comes out. And then I was thinking of doing a video on movie versus book differences or comparisons or something like that, just to time it right. Because the only thing is that I can't react to it when it's out in the cinema. But also, if I wait until I can react to it, it may not be relevant anymore. Like, it may, I don't think there'll be like the same viewership of people who would care about it. I don't know. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether to wait and react to it when I can, like in a few months' time, or just do a video comparing it and not do a reaction. So I haven't decided yet, but I need to hurry up and decide, because I think it's literally coming out next month, and next month is next week. So you can hate Ollie, but Alistair would be the hero of the book if they didn't play the bad guy music when he's on screen. That's great. That is brilliant. It's like every time it cuts to Alistair Thorne's face, like the music just changes. And it's so sad because I only liked him at the end when he was about to die. And then I was like, oh, I actually like him. Uh-oh. Like, it was a very sad realization. Indian heathens in the house. How are you tonight? Thanks for popping in. Becky, people sympathize with Ramsay in the Game of Thrones community. There's a literal video cut. What? Ramsay to be a good guy? Huh? I would love to see that person's justification because that makes no sense to me, and whatever opinion they have is wrong. And I like to say everyone's allowed their own opinion, but if you're going to say Ramsay Snow is a good guy, Ramsay Snow, not Bolton, he's a Snow, then nah. Oh, it's getting me so passionate tonight. What would you be most looking forward in a Swan Sword season 2 of A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms? For me, I am dying to see the floppy hat. Same. The floppy hat. I don't want to spoil anything for Awesome Sauce, but right at the end of the novella where Dunk has an interaction with a certain character. How do I say this without spoiling anything? It's a very good interaction. I'm most looking forward to that. It's a great interaction for Dunk. Alistair acting like the purpose of that colossal ice wall is to keep wildlings out. Oh my god, I love it. George being a gardener, as he would say, works really well with the Knight and Seven Kingdoms so far. Oh, the third trailer for Hail Mary. Mamma mia, so good. Why are we all turning Italian tonight? I do wonder who they will cast as Lady Webber in season 2. I think they already have cast somebody. For Lady Webber. Have they? I feel like I saw somebody say that she was really attractive. Yeah, I don't know who. I haven't seen yet, but she probably is. They've got to have a bit of eye candy to bring the viewers in, haven't they? Becky, you have the patience of a saint. Well, thank you very much. I don't know how you can wait to watch Game of Thrones, let alone Project Hail Mary. I mean, I am quite impatient, to be fair. And to be honest, if I wasn't filming me watching Game of Thrones, I would have binged it all by now. But I like the sense of community of talking to people week on week about Game of Thrones. So that helps keep me patient. I think you could make a comparison video for Project Hail Mary when it comes out. Maybe just use stills from the trailer. Yeah, that was what I was thinking. I was thinking of maybe using like things that we already have, like clips and things like that already in the video and then just talking over it. So I think that's probably what I'm going to do because then it's relevant, it's timed with when Project Hail Mary comes out, and then I don't necessarily need to do a movie reaction. So I think I'm going to do that. Thank you, Benjamin. Does Indian Heathen love Ollie? Is Ollie Indian Heathen's favourite character? Oh yeah, somebody said that they have cast Lady Webber. Ramsay is Azora High. Nice. What are your theories there? I'd love to hear. Ramsay had a tough father life. Being a bastard is tough. He wore it like armor. Yeah, but it doesn't have to automatically make you a prick. Like, sorry. Ramsay is great with his pet hounds. He keeps them well fed. That's good. We love a guy who loves animals and who looks after his animals. And those hounds are always eating. They always have a good meal. So yeah, we've got to respect Ramsay for that. Don't worry, Awesome Sauce. I didn't give any spoilers. I hope I didn't give spoilers. I tried not to. Whoever compared The Sun Eater to A Song of Ice and Fire is simply wrong. I'm not sure if you would like it. It's in first person with a lot of navel gazing. The first 2 to 3 books be so slow, but I like it a lot. That's really interesting. I wonder why somebody told me it was A Song of Ice and Fire, but sci-fi. So what do you like about it, Robert? Sell it to me. I mean, you don't have to sell it to me, but I just want to know what you like about it. They have casted Rohan Weber, and I will be simping in our season 2 coverage like Becky with Arlen. Okay, but what if they put a prosthetic on Rohan Weber and have the same scene? Would you be simping then? Or would you be questioning things? But yeah, what wasn't episode 2 a complete treat? I was not expecting to get so lucky this year. What a treat. He wore it like armor and the skin of his flayed enemies. Yeah, but did you guys not see the way he was flaying that apple in one of the recent episodes that I uploaded? If you haven't watched it, then you're a fake fan. I'm joking. But he was flaying an apple not very well. I could have flayed it better. Like, sorry, but his sigil is literally flayed people, and he can't even flay an apple. Yeah. If you love Game of Thrones, you will love The Accursed Kings. It's historical fiction about the 14th century French monarchy. That sounds really cool. You have definitely sold that to me. That actually sounds very, very cool. Thank you so much for recommending that tonight. Oh, Indian Heathen is having a wild Sunday night, it would appear. Oh, no, Callum, you're right. We got a reference to Arlen's Lance. I wasn't supposed to mention Arlen's Lance anymore. Damn it. Somebody left a comment saying they were going to unsubscribe from me if I mentioned Sir Arlen's Lance one more time, and I've just done it again. I just can't stop thinking about it. I've got a problem. I'm obviously joking, guys. I don't objectify old men like that, or anybody. You know, I'm a respectful person. But you know, he didn't leave a lot to the imagination, and yeah, I need to stop going on about it on my YouTube channel. What is the BBCB Becky Book Club book for March? Love that acronym. The book club for March, I think, is going to be Windhaven by George R.R. Martin. The poll has not closed yet, but it's a pretty obvious winner. I think the poll will close on Wednesday, but we've had the most votes on this poll for like ever. Like we've never had so many votes on a book club poll before. It must be all the new subscribers. I can't think of why the poll has got so many votes on it, and I'm very, very grateful that everybody seems to have picked one book. Literally, Windhaven is a very, very worthy winner because the others don't stand a chance. So yeah, we're getting back to some George R.R. Martin. Mad Dog says, Sunita, I got bored of it, honestly. Got into it after Red Rising, and it just wasn't the same. That's so interesting. Maybe I won't read Sunita then. Because I heard really, really good things about it, but now this live stream's changed my mind. Oh, Indian Heathen says, Ollie is sympathetic because he lost his parents. Yeah, obviously what Ollie went through is horrific. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I just don't like the way he treated Jon Snow. Obviously, he killed Jon Snow. But what is the correct way to flay a human, Becky? Well, that would be a different live stream for a different platform, because that would get me demonetized for sure. But if you really want to know, I'll give you the details. Arlen's Lance takes up a massive part of the show. It really, really does. Massive part. Huge. Also, my short that I put up of Sir Arlen's PP has the funniest comments on it. Like, if you want a laugh, go on that short and look at the comments. Some people are so creative with what they call his PP. It's honestly incredible. It gave me a chuckle earlier when I felt unwell this afternoon and I wanted to laugh. I just scrolled through the comments. It was great. Awesome Sauce got a head start on Windhaven last night. Awesome. I don't know how many pages it is. Do you know how many pages it is? And do you like it so far? How far are you into it? Valerian read and listened to that last year. Awesome. With no spoilers. What did you think to it? Obviously, we're going to talk about it next month anyway in the live stream, but you know, give me some teasers. What did you think? Stress Man says, I'm not really a patient person. Is it a good idea to read the book for A Night of the Seven Kingdoms? So I am very biased because it is my favorite book of all time ever. So I'm obviously going to say yes. To me, it is pure perfection. I think it's also great for, like you say, people who are not really patient. It's not a slow book at all. It's action-packed. It's fast-paced. It's short. And the character work is just so funny. And yeah, I think I just think it's great. So especially if you're not patient or if people don't like a slow book, I think it's great. So I would recommend that you read the book for A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. And it's not too long to get through, so if you don't like it, you've not wasted too much time. Oh, Robert said that they read Windhaven about 20 years ago, so I guess a reread in March. Yeah, reread it. Go ahead. It would be so fun to see if you still feel the same way about it. If you can remember how you felt about it the first time you read it. Yeah, that would be really cool to see your thoughts on it. Aloha, Nermis. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining the live stream. How are you doing? Because of you, I started reading the book for A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. I do confirm it's amazing, and I'm super happy. Almost done. About two of the. Why did I read that weirdly? Two of the thirds, 2/3 through now. Awesome! Yay! I'm so happy that you like it. It's my favorite book. I'm so glad that you are enjoying it, and the writing is just incredible in it. It's a 13-hour audiobook. Sword of Kaigen was 24. I'm an hour through. I'm withholding judgment for a while before I DNF since I'm bad at judging books early. Yeah, I think I used to try and get to about 60% of the way through before I decided whether or not to DNF a book. I ended up just never DNFing a book because I like commitment. I don't back out when things get rough. I'm a strong gal. I power through. You know, it's character building. So I rarely DNF. I don't know what the moral of my point was. But basically, I set myself a place where I can DNF, but I never do. They're re-releasing the Farseer trilogy with a new narrator because the OG one isn't well liked. Interesting. So I'm guessing then the first audiobook narrator wasn't what people liked. It wasn't great. I mean, to be fair, I feel like an audiobook narrator can sometimes make or break a decent book. So if they do re-release it and people prefer it more, then that's great for the Farseer trilogy, because what a trilogy. It's incredible. So it would be sad if the audiobook did it a disservice. So it might be a good idea for them to release it again. I think I mentioned this before, but Ivanhoe by Sir Walter Scott is George's inspiration for The Hedge Knight. I read it when I was like 10 years old and I loved it. Oh, that's good. I should be writing down some of these recommendations, actually. Let me write that down. I always love these live streams because you guys give me really good recommendations. I need to write the one as well that was mentioned earlier. Was it called The Accursed King? Was that the other one? Oh my god, this is great. Thank you, guys. Becky, were you in the NHS? Saw it on your Instagram. I did used to work for the NHS many years ago. Well, not many years ago. What was it, like 3-4 years ago, something like that? I also don't like the audiobook narrator, which probably means I'm not giving it a fair shake yet. Yeah, maybe it just takes a little bit of getting used to. You know, you just got to gel with the person. I'm wishing for a good finale, but the trailer's got some scenes I didn't like. Yeah, so what scenes didn't you like? Because that is a very common opinion. There's quite a lot of people that are saying they're very apprehensive about the finale because of some things that they saw in the trailer. So yeah, a little bit worried. I also heard from some people who've already seen the episode that it was like their least favorite episode of the season, which makes me really sad. But I'm not going to go into it with the expectation of that because I want to kind of see if I can enjoy it for what it is. I don't think I'm at the inciting incident yet, so I'll keep going. Yeah, you got to get to the inciting incident. You can't quit before anything has happened. Look what happened with Sword of Kaigen. You know, you've got to get to the actual incident. There's a film of Ivanhoe too. Oh, interesting. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is my first George R. R. Martin book, but was it okay to read it first? Is there an official first book of the series? Yeah, so it's okay to read that as your first George R. R. Martin book, absolutely. But I would say if you're going to go into his main series, A Song of Ice and Fire, obviously you would start with Game of Thrones. It's a very different tone to A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. It's not as light-hearted. It's like the stakes feel a lot higher. It's a bit more in depth, a bit more gritty, a bit more detailed. It's still fantastic, but it's just a little bit like, you know how like The Hobbit is a much easier writing style than like the main Lord of the Rings, like Fellowship of the Ring, etc. And they're quite like much more detailed and much more in depth. It's kind of a little bit like that, where I found A Night of the Seven Kingdoms to be a lot lighter, a lot more heartwarming, a lot more like upbeat, palate cleanser, whereas A Song of Ice and Fire is like hench. Brilliant, but just a different tone, if that makes any sense. Sand Kings is my favourite George R. R. Martin. Awesome. And Duncan Egg is the best. I agree. A Night of the Seven Kingdoms is actually the perfect book to start with. Yeah, it's a good one. The ending of Hedge Knight is what made it great for me. The ending? Why? Surely not Baylor getting his mind blown. Oh, yeah. Snap. We've got the exact same. I didn't even see you write that, but great minds think alike. And what is it? And fools seldom differ. Is that the remainder of the quote? One more thing. I'm very glad you're a Kindle girly. It's an absolutely fantastic device. It lets me read almost anywhere. It's in my backpack all the time. And then we definitely deserve that emoji for the big A, the big rainforest app. I actually love my Kindle. I never thought I would be a Kindle lover, but I love it. It's a lifesaver. Becky, I scheduled our live stream. Make sure everything is good on your end when you get a chance. Awesome. Thank you so much for sorting that out. I will check that once I've come off live, make sure it's all good. Yeah, I'm using what we use for our live streams for this one for the first time ever. It's a new system for me. I feel like professional. I feel like a streamer. I feel like I know what I'm doing, even though I don't. Come on, Ira Parker, do us a solid and make the ending great. Yes. Make A Song of Ice and Fire great again. Like, yeah, because House of the Dragon season 2 let us down. We need something great again. They have to add a lot into the finale, not in the book, to wrap it up, so it's just going to be a wrap up. I'd recommend watching 5 right before 6 so it flows better. That's a very good point, because a lot of people said that they probably would have preferred this TV show if they didn't need to wait week by week to watch it. And if they could just watch it one after the other or binge watch it, they feel like it would have been better. So that's a good point. And I feel like I agree. So I feel like, for example, for tomorrow's episode, if like we've had to wait a week, so it's like if it's not a great episode or it's not what we want it to be, then we've waited a week for that. Whereas if we were just able to watch 5 and then 6, we'd probably receive 6 a lot better, because we won't feel like we'd have waited for nothing, if that makes sense. I saw Becky, I almost clicked on your room. So, right, this technical speak and all that, is there a way that I can like not have it show to you? Because I feel like if I do this every month, it might just be annoying to clog up our thing with my book club rooms. So do you mind that it's there, or like how do I hide it if so? Let me know. I think the week by week builds hype more. To be fair, I definitely think for the action-packed episodes, it does build that hype, especially with the trailers. And if we can sense what's coming up, then it definitely builds the hype. I just kind of feel like if we're waiting for an episode that maybe isn't great or maybe falls a bit flat, then it's just a little bit sad. But, we can get over it. Was Grease Goblins about to raid the stream? I think we were almost going to get a Grease Goblins cameo then. How crazy would that have been? For a book that he hasn't even read, he would have hijacked a book club live stream. Grease the Cruel in full form. I don't know if you mentioned it on your group live stream, but did you catch the 4-legged Blackfire sigil on the lever in the flashback? There have been many hints in this season that I wasn't expecting to get. I disagree with the binge. You miss riding the high of episode 4 for a full week, 10 days, and you don't get a chance to stop and think about each episode. Yeah, so I'm not really much of a binger. If I do binge, it will be like 1 episode a day. So, if there's if there's 10 episodes in a series, it'll take me 10 days to get through it, at least as a minimum, because I don't want to watch 1 episode and then immediately go into the next. I like to distinguish the episodes apart. That's just how I like to do things. So that is my version of binging. Is not really one after another, but one and then one the next day. So I do like the hype, but I just feel like if you've got a very slow paced episode, it does make it a little bit easier kind of being able to watch one very soon. Oh, Indian Heathen, good night to you. To be honest, I think it's perfect. By the way, who the hell is Grease Goblins? So Grease Goblins is this lovely fellow here, but not on this channel. So you'll need to go over to the Grease Goblins on YouTube, my good pal. If you like all things A Song of Ice and Fire, head on over there. I don't need to advertise him because he's got more subscribers than me. He's doing very well for himself. But you know, if you don't know who he is, I think you should. So there's my advertisement. I didn't even read his comment. What did he say? I don't care at all. After the show concludes, I'm going back to using Streamlabs, so I won't be on them. Okay, cool. Awesome schmawsome. Awesome sawsome. HBO wants those subs, which isn't necessarily bad. I want them to make money on good stuff. Agreed. What are your expectations with House of the Dragon Season 3? Should we be excited? Do you know what? I think we should. Maybe not excited, but I think we should be hopeful, because the reasons why they messed up mainly on Season 2, I think they can rectify, and I think they will rectify. Am I being delusional here? Because obviously they had massive limitations from HBO. So they were meant to have 10 episodes and then they were cut short to 8 with short notice. So that makes me think that the first 2 episodes of Season 3 are going to be what was meant to be at the end of Season 2, but they didn't get the opportunity. So I'm hopeful for that. And if you've read Fire and Blood, you'll know that there are some very, very juicy plots that are due to come up, which will be in Season 3 and should be great if they adapt it well. So I am feeling hopeful, not like crazy excited. No, I think I am excited, but not as much as I was for A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. We'll read the book. Thanks for the feedback. By the way, my name is Ahmed. Hi, Ahmed. Your content is nice and clear as well. Keep going. Bye. Have to go now. Oh, thank you so much for joining the stream, Ahmed. Really appreciate it. Hope you have a lovely rest of your day and a good week ahead of you. Her version of binging is being patient. They used the wrong sigil. Dragons in. Wait, that's what you meant by four-legged? Wait. I didn't even notice. Okay, Balerion. Well, I know what I'm going to be doing now when I get off the stream. I'm going to have to find that out. Wow. Grease Goblins does have the best intro. You're right. It's the way every time his video starts and it goes, in the Game of Thrones you, and then it cuts out and he says, subscribe and like. I love it. I always just mouth subscribe and like. Who is this Grease Goblins guy? He has garbage takes. Yeah, he does. I wouldn't listen to any of his opinions. They tend to always be wrong, other than the fact that he agreed with me on our A Night of the Seven Kingdoms rankings, which, by the way, is on the Booktube Advocates channel. So if you want to go and support another YouTuber who does fantastic fantasy content, Booktube Advocate. Becky, you look lovely today. Thank you very much, Mark. That's very kind of you. I hope you're having a good day. Thanks for popping into the stream. I will end this stream at some point, guys, because I do try and make these about an hour, and then we waffle on for so long, and then they don't end up being an hour. At the end of Season 3, if it's like, okay, guys, the war is really about to start next season, we promise, I will be upsetty spaghetti. I will be depresso espresso. Yeah, that would not be good if they didn't do anything. I'm optimistic for Season 3, but at the same time, George saying his relationship is abysmal and that it isn't his show anymore isn't good. I know. But George R.R. Martin is also like a pouting little kid sometimes. He actually is. Like, some of his blog posts are so sassy. But yeah, I am very disheartened by the way his relationship has gone with Ryan Condal and like the whole House of the Dragon process. It's really sad. All I can hope is that they just make a good season. Is it too much to ask? It's just a shame for him because he created the story and then it's not really feeling like his story anymore. So yeah, it's sad. I will never ever take water for granted ever again. The biggest problem for House of the Dragon season 2 was that because of the writer's strike, they could not make any tweaks to the scripts as they were filming. Yeah, that is another huge problem. Oh, something popped up for Awesome Sauce. Member for 1 month. Yay, let's all congratulate Awesome Sauce on 1 month of membership. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you. Yeah, can't even put it into words how much it means to me. Thank you so much. The four-legged dragon is one of George's biggest pet peeves. I can't believe that I haven't noticed the 4 legs. As soon as they showed the belt on the screen, I had to pause it because I suspected, and then I saw it had 4 legs. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and see this 4-legged dragon. Weird. Dragons have 4 legs. Wyverns have 2 legs. George based his dragons off of wyverns because all animals in the real world have 2 legs and 2 wings, not 6. I don't know how to. You don't know how to spell that word. I don't know how to say that word. Appendicitis. This is so complicated. How many legs does a dragon have? How many legs do you have, mate? 1, 2, 3, 4. This one might have 4. This one might have 4 legs. Do you know what? I knew Benjamin was going to do this just to make Awesome Sauce not look as good anymore. Benjamin has been a member for 12 months, which blows my mind. So thank you so much. Whoa, Awesome Sauce. Thank you. There's so many people to thank in this stream. Thank you for taking the time to host these. I'm glad I stuck it out with Sword of Kaigen. I wouldn't have if you weren't hosting this. Oh, well, I'm glad I gave you the motivation to push through. And thank you, all of you, for the support. Indian Heathen. There's just so many people to thank. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that. You are all incredible. You are all brilliant. Thank you so, so, so much. I can't even put it into words. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Grease Goblins is going back to work. See you at the stream tonight. See you at the stream tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day until we meet again. And then, oops, here's Sarah's bit of support. Thank you, Sarah. As always, just, like, seeing people's faces, like, or their usernames even, coming back and having like people that I recognize that constantly come back and support is like the loveliest feeling. It's great. I honestly can't explain it. So thank you so much, everybody. Dragons have 0 legs because dragons aren't real. Hey now, that's blasphemy. We do not chat any stuff like this in Becky Does Blogs universe. Do you not see all the dragons? Okay, they're real. They are real. Oh, I'm wrecking things. They are real. Okay, just remember that. She's watching. Just remember. Oh, hey! Excellent carrot cake. This is cool. I must walk the doggo. Have a lovely evening. Have a lovely evening yourself. Have a good walk with the doggo. Thank you so much for your support. 7 months. 7 months. Wow, you guys are incredible. Thank you so, so much. Gosh darn it. Oh, you guys are so good for my ego. I'm like blushing under all this makeup. Did I even read the rest of the comments? I don't think I did. I was just so giddy. Dragons are real. Yes, they are real. Have you guys seen a bearded dragon? So in A Song of Ice and Fire, dragons always have 2 legs. And you know what? Like, if George R.R. Martin creates a world and he decides that his dragons have 2 legs rather than 4, go ahead. He's creating a fantasy world. Do White Walkers exist? The others? Ice zombies? If he wanted them to have wings that fire out of their shoulder bones every time they were hungry, he could do that, you know? It's his fantasy world. He can do what he wants. That's what I say. So yeah. Anyways, I got passionate in this stream. Does anybody have any final thoughts on Sword of Kaigen before we start to close the book club live stream for this month? As always, the next book club live stream will be on the last Sunday of March, which is the 29th. Ah, what has happened here? Thank you so much, Amazing Vines. This is incredible. Thank you so, so much. Really appreciate it. Ah, this is amazing. You guys really do make me smile so much. So yeah. So the next live stream will be at the end of March, unless I hit a subscriber milestone before then, hint, hint, and then I will do another one. If we hit 7,000 subscribers, I may do a live stream for that if you want to stop by and chat. But we do still have a while to go till we get there. So we shall see if that will be before the next book club one or not. Who knows? But the next book will be Windhaven, I'm pretty sure. The book club live stream is not yet closed, but I imagine another book will not beat it. Oh yeah, Benjamin's reminded me. What did everybody rate out of 5 stars for Sword of Kaigen? Would love to hear you. Would love to hear you hear your thoughts on it. I did this because I think I found a Game of Thrones geek. You certainly did, Amazing Vines. You most certainly did. We're all Game of Thrones geeks here. Everybody's rooting for me to reach 7K. Awesome Source gave it 4 out of 5. Do you know what? I'm going to change my Goodreads rating of Sword of Kaigen because I rated it immediately after I finished the book, but sometimes I do go back and change it because I end up reflecting and realizing it stuck with me a lot more. So I'm going to go for a 3.5 for Sword of Kaigen, which isn't bad. Not bad at all. 3.5 strong. But I definitely rated it lower than that when I finished it. And I don't know why that was, if I'm being honest. Rip Mamoru, yep. I'm also sad that there aren't any currently published books in the series. She set up so much in the world that wasn't visited deeply. Yeah, that saddens me because I really liked the world. As we've established, I really do like the world that she's created. So I'm quite sad that there aren't any other books in that world. But I would want to read Blood Over Whitehaven. Yeah, I don't know why I rated it 2. That does feel very, very low for me. I must have been having a bad day. Goodreads doesn't do half stars, so I would round it up. Because obviously 3.5 going up to, so I would rate it 4 when I go back onto Goodreads. I don't know why I rated it 2 because that is very low. And I definitely don't feel that way about it now. So maybe I just needed to reflect on it. Maybe it was something about the ending that I just wasn't happy with in that moment, and then I rated it a 2 based on the ending. But when you think about the book as a whole, like I enjoyed my time with it. So 2 is definitely 2. 2's low. Yeah, this is the reason. Oops. This is the reason. Hangry. That's why. And to be fair, this is probably another reason. The first half, up until I think it was chapter 14, I would have rated it 2 because I was kind of borderline bored. So yeah, hangry and slow pacing. But I definitely don't feel that way about it now. Oh, thank you very much. That bookshelf is gorgeous. Thank you. I put a lot of effort into it. But thank you very much. I appreciate that. Mark is manifesting 10,000 subscribers. Fingers crossed, we shall see. I mean, my goal for 2026 was to reach 5,000. So I've reached my 2026 goal, which means I can just relax now for the rest of the year because I've reached my subscriber goal. So yeah, thank you everybody. I really appreciate it. Saw a video on Facebook maybe that says that dragons are not real fantasy creatures since they are described accurately, and the only fantasy animal on the Chinese calendar. Why would they if it wasn't? Oh, dragons are real. I read that's not real. Okay, dragons are real, not fantasy creatures. Oh, that's interesting. That's a good point. Because all the other animals on the Chinese calendar are real, so why would a dragon not be? Think about it, guys. The Welsh flag does have a dragon on it. You know, why would we be so obsessed with dragons if they weren't real? Just think about it. Your goal was 50K. 50K would be a very big goal. Maybe in like 5 or 10 years' time. 50K might be a goal. Anyway, guys, we've been chatting for 1 hour and 20 minutes. Thank you so much for being here with me, giving me emotional support. Komodo dragons, yes. Dragons are real, guys. I'm being deadly serious. React to the Lord of the Rings trilogy and you will get to 10k. That will be coming up very, very soon because I have finished the first book. So I'm well on my way to doing book stuff and movie stuff for Lord of the Rings. I'm so excited. I can't wait. Komodo dragons are real awesome creatures. Do I even know what one looks like? Let me just find out and see if I know what it looks like. Dragons are like cool dinos to me. Yeah, I can see that. They're like reptile things, aren't they? Oh my goodness, I did not know what a Komodo dragon looked like, and I'm so happy I now do. That is adorable. His little tongue. Oh my goodness. Oh, there's a image of him eating a deer. That wasn't very nice, but the rest of them were lovely. I'm so glad that I've just seen that to end my week. So thank you guys for joining me on this Sunday. If you're coming to the live stream at 4 in the morning for me, then I will see you in a few hours. But if not, then thank you so much for your time today. Really, really appreciate it. Benjamin says, here's to another year. 12 months. I can't believe it, Benjamin. Thank you so much. Like a whole year. Thank you. I honestly cannot even comprehend it. Just thank you so much. And thank you to everybody. This don't watch the Komodo dragon video with the deer. I definitely won't. I'll be traumatized. Yeah, thank you everybody. It's been a great live stream. Put me in a great mood. I'm going to go to sleep with a smile on my face, get 4 hours of sleep, and then wake up again and see you all tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day, and I hope you have a wonderful end to your month, and we'll catch up in March. Bye.